Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys here, Lanny and Bert, the Dividend Diplomats. It's Monday, everybody. But wait, we're not doing our quick stock picks of the week, everybody. We're changing it up a little bit here. For the first time ever on this channel, we're doing a podcast-like format where we're just going to go through some topics. We've aggregated some over the weekend and just have a conversation. Sometimes we'll have formal analysis. Sometimes we'll just be our gut opinions. We're just going to have some fun, give you a little bit of a peek of how Wayne and I typically talk about stocks off the air. Let's just have some fun, everybody. Let us know, especially what you think of this format style.
Subscribe, guys. Hit that like button. You got the DD rocking here. Bert, a lot of wild things happened this week, man. The week ending obviously on June 7th. Bunch of things, but it wouldn't be you know, wouldn't be a conversation, at least until we, started talking a little bit about some favorite dividend stocks right now.
Yeah.
The market's traded up quite a bit this year, crossing 53, 5,400 here in the S&P 500, man. I know I've been sidelined quite a bit off and on throughout the year. Majority of the year, I've been really on the sidelines
Mhm.
watching. But I know you've been buying a lot more than I have.
Yeah, I actually haven't been buying that much either. It's been a quiet year because dividend stocks have just been so difficult to find. I continue to see myself liking the same names over and over again, which has been reflected in our quick picks video. I'm still going to say Johnson & Johnson at 145. That's still the price point where I'm going to keep buying if J&J dips below 145. And quietly, Lanny, with the interest rate news that happened last week, or I should say lack of interest rate news, because it seems like rates aren't going to fall again. The REIT sector is really what's starting to catch my eye once again. Realty income is closing in to drop below $53. AMT's in the 190s and plenty of other ones. I may have to dust off our
Yeah,
again just to see.
get that out of here.
Yeah.
Um,
Anything else
yeah,
catching your eye here, Lanny? What's jumping off the plate for you?
I mean, honestly, wish there was more time that Starbucks stayed down.
Yeah.
Honestly, Pepsi, I was really hopeful that they would stay down, Undertaker style to Shawn Michaels and or Triple H, but they've hung around 171 still to finish off the week. But I really want them under 170, obviously. Again, looking at really it's been looking at the dog positions or like positions that just have no, solventum. I hate that that's in my portfolio. I really do, guys. And that was the spinoff and 3M. It's just killing me. It's like, what's it doing? It's just like 56.41. And every time I look at it, it's just dropping a few percent every single fucking
Yeah.
week. Yeah, I
I,
blinked my own cuss word out there.
I don't think I've seen a green day for that stock yet.
It was started to get some more life back in early to mid part of May, back in the mid upper 60s. But there were a lot of chances you had to sell it at between 65 and $70 per share as soon as you got the shares. Just guys, why am I holding this?
I don't know. I'm with you. I haven't sold it yet, but yeah, it's funny. It's like trimming down a lot of the dogs and hoping that the dogs pop so you can just get them out of your portfolio. That seems to be what the theme of 2024 has been.
Yeah, and then with just everything going on with the consumers spend, obviously I think it's all just ridiculous. I think
Mhm.
at some point, companies should stop performing well.
Mhm.
um, further layoffs should happen at some point, hence why rates are still where they're at. Possibly a rate cut coming in September. That's why it's been harder for me to buy a stock because I'm like, you know, I've learned from the past of like finding a stock and reaching. Um,
Oh,
haven't
bueno.
really been haven't really been reaching. I mean, the last
No,
couple
that's
stocks I probably bought is like J&J, Starbucks, and Pepsi. I
yeah, the
mean,
reaches are the ones that we've been having issues with the dividend cut. So you learn a lot from reaching when the times are great to just being patient and waiting for the good ones to drop, like you said, for J&J and Starbucks.
yeah, and I gotta
Yeah.
apologize, guys. I got some congestion plus a sore throat here.
Don't let
Um,
it happen again, Lanny. Don't you dare let it happen again.
but
But
yeah, I
that's
mean,
pretty much
yeah, really again, more stocks. I'm trying to like
cut out.
find out, even in my wife's portfolio, I get some hope from, the Gap and Nordstrom, small positions in her portfolio, but again, stocks that nonetheless I'd look to exit, at a peak point. So
Yeah. So again, not much stocks going on here, just our same boring old names just continue to be retreaded over and over again. But it is what it is. That was kind of the first topic we wanted to cover there, just our favorite dividend stocks, what we're going to look forward. Number two, Roaring Kitty. I mean, how do you not talk about Roaring Kitty and everything that's going on with GameStop right now?
you better believe I was possibly, quote unquote, possibly plugged into his YouTube live stream, guys, and that was pretty funny seeing him finally show up. About 25, 30 minutes into when the scheduled start time was. But how funny was that, getting the rug kind of pulled, even though he thanked GameStop for the early present because it might have helped as well. But essentially, instead of the price skyrocketing like it was after hours, the stock price ended up tumbling about 40% on Friday.
Yeah. So it's a tale of that. I think it's
We
interesting.
just,
Games
we just tweeted a little bit ago. I
you
sent
did,
you the
yeah.
link before we started.
You did right before. I love it. I mean, seems like GameStop's learned a little bit from the first go around with this of what you do, maybe from a corporate side, what you would take advantage of what you can control. But who knows? I think all this talk about market manipulation is absolutely is fascinating. Like buying the options, going on advertising, people are jumping, but are you really manipulating the market any differently than anyone else that goes on CNBC and talks about their position, any other hedge fund that says that they invested 10% in X company and tells Kramer that, and Kramer blasts it out to everybody, everyone buys, and the price jumps up? Is there any real difference there? I mean, I don't see any.
I think the funniest part about all of this is, his obviously Twitter X handle generating millions of impressions. So I'm wondering if Elon Musk is sending over some nice monetization checks his way for every random tweet he is sending out. So
I'm sure.
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
that's the
Elon's like, you can do it as long as you don't talk about any of my companies.
yeah. And then, if you guys actually look at his YouTube channel, the funniest part was he had around like 800,000 subscribers. He's now pretty much at 959, 960,000 subs. So gonna hit that million sub mark pretty quick. So you know how much he's probably generating from possibly YouTube ad revenue on all his old videos. So
Good for him.
tip my cap, tip my
Yeah.
cap.
Respect him. Fun to watch what's going on, monitor it from the sideline, and just hope he picks one of our stocks next lane and we can dump out. Maybe some of those dividend cuts that we just talked about yesterday. Paramount would be a nice little touch.
Yeah. Well, Paramount, Paramount, Paramount. You son of a gun. Just had
Yeah,
to
well,
talk Paramount.
yeah. Well, let's just go into Paramount. We're gonna talk about them later, but let's just bump them up here on this because what a disaster this has been for the better part of a couple of years. Paramount has just been getting pummeled. They tried Paramount Plus, didn't work out. Price of debt too much for Paramount. Question was, could the company really survive on its own? But because of that unique A/B structure of the Paramount shares, it's been very hard to find the right dance partner for Paramount, especially with how much power Sherry Redstone has between National Amusement and Paramount. It's been tough. They've had that exclusivity period that passed, and now they seem to come back to a deal that was, how do we say it? Underwhelming to say the least, where um the Class A shares, aka the Sherry Redstone shares, would get over $20 per share. Probably, I think it was like 25. I don't even care what she's gonna get. Us Class B shareholders, a balmy $15 per share. So a little bit of a premium, but not very much. And that was just the option to take 15. You still could roll the dice again if you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, again, is it in the best interest of shareholders? I don't know. Maybe in the best interest of the company, but for shareholders, I'm I'm gonna have to say no. But
Yeah.
um,
There are reports over the weekend I saw that other bidders might be lining themselves up just to get into the actions. There's like, can we just make a decision to move on? I think it's time, everyone, for this chapter, just pick something, move forward. Standing in no man's land is not helping anybody right now. That's my take on Paramount.
yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, their stock didn't even react that great this
No,
week.
it's not even at
Um,
15. It's at 1280.
yeah, Yeah. The
Or now
stock's
it's
down.
up 12,
The
right?
stock's da the stock's down 6.5% this week.
Yeah. So that tells you what they thought about that acquisition, right?
So I know there's a lot of chatter about, hey, do you just buy the shares now, knowing you're going to get 20%, pop.
An option. I mean, it's an option, right? But who knows?
I can't see myself pressing the buy button on Paramount anymore.
No, no, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, who knows? We'll see what's going to come up this week. But overall, I mean, it's been nothing short of a disaster. And we'll see how much less of a disaster it becomes this week. Maybe another bidder will come in and offer us 15.50 per share.
Well, make sure
Yeah,
you're not holding your breath on that, brother.
I'm not. All right, so that was the third topic here. Paramount, be a surprise move up the list to come here because you had that great segue from the last one. Just an update here from the community of what we were talking about here. There's just been a couple non-dividend stocks that I've been buying. Um, what I've been, or two of them.
Bert the whale investor over here.
Yeah, Lanny, do you mind talking about one of them here for 1 second?
Sure.
First one, ticker symbol SOFI. I know you've been buying them. That's been the one I've been adding.
Yeah, I've bought a little bit. I mean, when I say a little bit, I mean truly, guys. Like this year, anytime it tries, it's still probably at below what, $7 a share. Let me check. 6.98. I didn't buy them anytime recently, but when they've dropped below seven, I've probably picked up maybe 75 to $100 worth of SoFi this year, which not a ton, but yeah, 10 to
Yeah,
10 to 15 shares worth.
it's a really easy one to pick up when it's below that $7 per range, and that's what I've been doing here. I've grabbed my wife. We had 1,100 shares entering in this, so over the last month or so, I've been adding 75 or 80 shares of SoFi in that range. So, not a ton of
The
money,
whale,
but
the
another
whale.
yeah, another option here. I want to at least get to 1,200 and then really start messing around with the SoFi position. Um, just love the bank. It's that simple. It's a great
So I'm
bank.
really gonna just start taking selfies with the SoFi position.
I could. There's a few reasons why that one's funny. The other one I've been buying is Upstart, ticker symbol UPST, the other consumer loan giant here.
Bert
They're
loves
down.
the
I
loan
love the
industry.
I do love the lending, the online lending, the fintech space. So I bought some a long time ago. My average cost base was about $20 per share. So I've just been nibbling as it's been in the low 20s. The interesting thing with this one, I'd love to get 100 because this would be a really fun option stock just with the emotional swings that go on in the online lending business and the consumer lending. Gives you a chance to take advantage of it. It's also proven that when interest rates do come down, whenever that may be. This is a stock that reacts very well to it. It was up to $70 per share at one point at the end of last year before they realized rates were going to be higher. So it's in the mid 20s now. So it's one that's proven when things look like they're going to start easing, it could rise and pop up. So these are kind of my two non-dividend stock gambles and stock that I've been buying a lot of lately.
Buy those call options, man.
Yeah,
Really,
I gotta get to
really.
100 shares. I'm in 60, I
Oh no,
think.
I'm saying buy the option.
Oh, buy the option. The other side of the trade. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. So that's the update there. Those are the two non-SoFi Upstart. Another story that caught my eye is Buffett just loves Occidental Petroleum. He's probably up to about 30% now. It was just released that he bought another huge wave of them. I think it was like $150 million of it, up to 30%. The question is, what is Buffett doing? Has said before he doesn't want to acquire the company. He's getting pretty darn close. He's acquiring it without acquiring it. So this it's been an interesting one. I still own some shares of Oxy. I don't own a ton. I still own a few warrants too from way back in the day. I think I have 6 Oxy warrants that are making money.
Dude.
So it's like, what do you do with Occidental Petroleum? Do you just wait for Buffett to buy him out?
Now the price hasn't moved much this year or even last year. So I know oil going through a little bit right now as well,
Mm,
from like just a price per barrel. And
yeah.
obviously they had the nice pop when everything came back and rebounded and swung very well in their direction post COVID.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
sector I love to hate because of all the great dividend paying stocks, but it's been very turbulent over the last decade. It's been very hard to get a consistent flow and a consistent price per barrel with all the political stuff that's going on around it. So who knows? I'd love if Buffett bought it out, obviously. Just then force my hand with the decision. But for now, I'm just gonna keep holding tight and seeing what's happening.
Oxy, just what a name. I exited them quite a few years ago. I forget what I ended up doing with the proceeds, but I hope it just continues to trudge forward, man.
Yeah, let's keep plugging along. And last, but definitely not least, we've highlighted on this channel, we've highlighted on X a lot about the fast food wars. Lanny has an interesting little perspective here on a niche of the fast food wars, the pizza wars. You want to tell us a little bit about this, Lanny?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think well, first look at Papa John's stock, pizza stock, PZZA. Undervalued? Let us know in the comments, guys. But the price battles have been going on. I think I got like 6 text messages from different pizza places on Friday night. One being Domino's 50% off. Papa had a BOGO deal going for buy one get one large or an XL. Our family's not that large enough that we would need. Not from a weight standpoint, just from a quantity of people standpoint.
Yeah, that's two extra large, a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pizza.
I mean, I could house a whole pizza myself, but I mean, I try not to.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right.
but,
Right.
we ended up going Domino's, and
And you talked
I
me
already,
into it too.
yeah, I sent it out to like a few people, including Bert, just because like, hey, if you're only looking to get the one pizza, 50% off, you can get an XL for 7.25, I think it was. I haven't had Domino's in a long time, and I mean a long time.
All right,
Um,
so quick question for you. Are you going to be when you have to figure out when the same situation comes up, what are you doing? Oh no, that's a no-go there for Domino's.
Yes. Yeah, you can just tell the quality is just not there, guys. Bring on the haters.
Yeah,
I don't, come on, Domino's lovers.
yeah.
Not for me. It's just not for me. You know, I think Papa's from a chain, again, national chain standpoint, again, go local if you can. I usually go local. Bert knows I usually pick a local place. Um, I got a lot near me, obviously, pretty lucky there.
Yeah,
But if, we dabble in the chains every once in a while. Papa John's just has better, it's true, better ingredients, better pizza.
better. So I think that's a perfect way for us to end this first long form podcast like episode. Everybody, let us know what you think of this format in that comment section below. We appreciate it. We'd love to see what your thoughts are. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and remember, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack.
That was Bert and Laney from the DD. Over and out.